Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about another subject on subnetting, which is how many subnets you can create for a given IP. In the previous video I have explained how you can easily find the total number of hosts and total number of subnet per network. For those who didn't watch this video, I recommend to watch it. I will provide the link of the video in the description of this video. In today's video we will find out how you create X subnets for a given network. For example, in the question says create 3 networks for a subnet or create 7 networks and so on. So stay tuned, I will explain how you easily to get around this. Before we get started, I would like to introduce the different formats of subnet mask as we need them to solve any type of question on subnetting. Here the first type, which is called CIDR notation. The IP address is followed by a slash then a number. This number called CIDR notation, or sometimes they call it shorthand. The second type, which is decimal, and it is very common for everybody, 25500 or 255 something. And the third type is binary, which is written as 0 or 1. IP address or subnet mask consists of 4 octets. This is first, second, third, fourth, and each octet consists of 8 bits, and each bit represents a number. If it is on, you put 1, and this one is represent 128, the second one 64, and so on. So this 255 comes from the summation or addition of these numbers. For example, in the second octet, if I turn on 2 bits like this, it means we have 128 plus 64 equals 192. So the subnet mask in decimal format becomes 255.192, and the CIDR notation becomes 10. The 10s means 10 bits are on. So now let's get back to our question. Create 3 subnets from this IP address, which has a CIDR notation 24. The first thing to do is we need to know how many bits, how many network bits needs to be on. Using this simple equation, 2 power something should be equal than the required subnet. So 2 power 2 equals 4. So we need to turn on 2 bits. So by turning on 2 bits, the subnet mask or the CIDR becomes 26. Now the second step is converting your subnet, your new subnet, to a binary. As you know, each subnet consists of 4 octets, and because we have 26 bits on, so this is 8, 8, 8, 24, and the 2 becomes 26. Now we have to convert this binary to decimal. So because we have 128 plus 64, we get 192. So the new subnet mask is 255, 255, 255, 192. The third step is finding the jumps between the networks using this new subnet mask. So we always detect this new subnet mask from 256 to get a number, and starting from 0 we add this number to itself until we get all the jumps. So we have 256 minus 192 equals 64. So the magic number is 64. Starting from 0 we add 64 to itself. So 0, 64, 128, 128 plus 64 we get 192, 192 plus 64 we get 256. So this is the jumps between the networks. The first number, which is 0, it is the starting IP of the first network, and the second number is the starting IP of the second network, and so on. And the last one is the starting IP of the fourth network, and the last number is the last IP of the fourth network. We have the final step, which is writing the IP range using these jumps. We have the IP address, the first IP in the network, and the broadcast IP, then the usable IP and last IP. The first usable IP in the network is the first IP in the network plus 1, and the last usable IP is the broadcast IP minus 1. So the first network starts with 0, and the first IP will be 10.0.0.0, and the last IP or the broadcast IP will be 63, as the second network starts with 64. So the usable IP is the first IP plus 1, and the last usable IP is broadcast IP minus 1. So the second network is this. This is the starting IP of the second network, and the broadcast IP is one IP before this, so it is 127, and so on. So the third one is 128, 191. So this way we were able to find the 4 network from the given IP. I would like to share a very useful website which helps you to practice your knowledge. Here we have the IP address address, and here we put the CIDR notation, and then you can choose how many networks you like to have. In our example, we put 4 for this IP address, and it calculated for us all the possible networks for this IP. I hope this video was useful for everybody. See you in my next video.